martial arts world are fixed upon Paddy, the Paddy Pimblett, when he competes. And anytime you're able to win when you're not at your best, as was the case in his win over Jared Gordon, that's a feather in your cap. Pimblett back on the horse tonight.
Win. Ultimately, that's what it's all about. Paddy Pimblett gets the job done. But listen to this arena. Listen to the reaction that people give this young man when he steps from behind the curtain. This guy is a star. He has that star quality about him. But not only does he have that, he can fight. And ultimately, it's about winning fights. Paddy Pimblett does that in spades.
All right, so here he is, Justin Gaethje, the lightweight contender. Many fancy him a future UFC champion. But it's just been amazing to watch this guy seamlessly transition to the UFC. One headlining spot after the next. More bonuses than UFC fights. This might be the most exciting fighter in the world today.
He is the most exciting fighter in the world. He's a guy that when you put him at the top of the marquee, people show up.
It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC lightweight championship of the world. And now our tale of the tape for this lightweight fight. 4 years apart, with similar height and some differences in reach. All right, now for the official introductions, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Yves Lavigne. And now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
This is absolute. Has had 2 fights in the UFC, and look at what he's rousing here in the O2 Arena. We got to talk about the fight.
I'm here with the highlight, one of the best ever do, ladies and gentlemen. Justin, you publicly said this is the last chapter of your career. You want to go out with the title. Give us your thoughts on what tomorrow night means to you.
Oh, it means everything. I've committed my whole life to this, and every fight's the biggest, but this is the biggest fight of my life. I cannot wait to carry this torch, stripes on my back, and represent this country like it should be represented.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Justin Gaethje, ladies and gentlemen.
Justin, Paddy says he's been preparing for you like he prepared for the Michael Chandler fight. Is that a mistake? And why is this different from Chandler?
Well, you obviously seen me fight Chandler. I have, better skills and I beat him. But I don't care what he says, what he thinks. If he thinks I'm Michael Chandler, again, it goes back to my first statement. I love everything he's saying right now.
And last one, your manager said he would like to see you fight Conor McGregor at the White House. At this stage in your career, would you take the money fight or would you be focused on the undisputed title next?
I'm only focused on Paddy Pimblett, January 24th. How many times do I gotta say I don't expect to be alive after these fights? I go in there willing and ready to give everything. And that's the same. I'll be on the White House card no matter what. Who I'm fighting, doesn't matter.
Some critics think you don't have enough experience for a title fight. What is the moment, the fight that earned you this title shot?
Winning my last fight, being on a 7-fight win streak, the longest in the lightweight division. The critics can stick it up their asses. I'm the one who's fighting for the belt.
This matchup has the entire community divided, and for good reason. Some people look at Justin's knockout power and veteran savvy and think that's just too much to overcome. Others are convinced Paddy can drag this thing into mayhem and completely change the game on the mat. That stare down only made the arguments louder, and now everyone's calling it totally different ways.
Justin Gaethje is known for his iconic backflip. If everything goes for you well, do you have anything up your sleeve come celebration time?
I'm not doing no backflip, me, lads. Fuck that, break me neck. Don't know, probably just start dancing like I always do, lads.
Paddy made something crystal clear right from day one. He's not looking at this as just another fight, but as something deeply personal and brutal. When Paddy talked about going after Justin like that, he was sending a message about inflicting damage that sticks around long after the final bell. The kind of beating that changes someone. When people brought up the possibility of this going the distance, Paddy embraced that, completely talking about having the will and the conditioning to battle someone like Justin for 25 minutes. But then he immediately flipped that by saying he doesn't expect it to last nearly that long.
This fight. Usually when we think of Gaethje, we think of wars, we think of back and forth scraps. Do you think this is going to be a dominant one-way traffic performance by yourself?
That's our job, innit? We're meant to hate each other. That's what everyone's here to see. You know what I mean?
Is part of you hoping that maybe Justin can finally be the one to drag you into a war, take you to the full 5 rounds and see what your medal is made of?
Yeah, of course, but I know I've got that in me anyway. I know I've got the heart and the desire to go 5 rounds with a warrior like Justin Gaethje, but it's not going to go that long. As I say, I'm going to put a beating on him, and it's going to be like he's never had before, and I can't wait to show everyone just how good I am.
Things got heated when Justin started throwing around names and performances from other fights. Paddy fired right back by holding his position and explaining that when he criticized other fighters for looking terrible, he was just being honest about what he saw. He doubled down hard, making it obvious he doesn't care who gets offended by his words. Right there, Paddy came across like someone who's perfectly fine being the villain if it means keeping the mental pressure on his opponent.
The legends against the disrespectful new breed here.
I'm still in it. Legends retire. I ain't retired yet. I'm still in it. The fire is still as bright and as hot as it's ever been, and I cannot wait to fight this guy.
Well, Dustin's never got a nice word to say about me, lad. So, well, I was honest and said he looked like shit against Gaethje. Fucking hell, stop fucking crying, you can't get
That wasn't even the fight you were talking about. You said his last fight.
Which? No, I'm saying Dustin looked like shit against Holloway. That was what I said.
You would also look like shit against Holloway.
Well, we'll see once I beat.
As things kept going, the talk shifted to comparisons with other top-level grapplers. Paddy really leaned into being slept on. He explained how people constantly think they've got him figured out, and they're almost always completely wrong. Rather than stacking himself up against anyone else, he made the point that his approach is weird and difficult to predict.
Justin said yesterday that you're no Khabib Nurmagomedov on the ground and he's going to fight you with no fear in that area. Do you think he's going to be surprised about your ground game if it does go there?
Everyone's surprised by my whole game when they fight me. No one expects me to be as good as I am. Everyone underestimates me, but it helps in my favour, know what I mean? It makes the fight easier for me because everyone underestimates me. And I'm not Khabib, no one else is. I'm me, know what I mean? And I'm an even harder puzzle to solve. I'm proper weird. You knew what Khabib was coming to do. You don't know what I'm coming.
Justin's energy during that stare down matched Paddy's intensity perfectly. When the whole Legends versus New Blood narrative got brought up, Justin shut that down immediately. He made it obvious he doesn't view himself as some relic from the past. He stressed that he's still competing, still dangerous, and still hungry. He broke down how Paddy's unorthodox approach is something you need to crack early, but once you do, the momentum starts swinging. He described building pressure round after round and emphasized that letting the fight go deeper only plays into his hands. Even when he mentioned the later rounds, it wasn't framed as worry, but as confidence in how things will turn once he solves the Paddy puzzle.
Legends retire. I ain't retired yet. I'm still in it. The fire is still as bright and as hot as it's ever been, and I cannot wait to fight this guy.
Well, Dustin's never got a nice word to say about me, lad. So, well, I was honest and said he looked like shit against Gaethje. Fucking hell, stop fucking crying, you can't get
That wasn't even the fight you were talking about. You said his last fight.
Which? No, I'm saying Dustin looked like shit against Holloway. That was what I said.
You would also look like shit against Holloway.
Well, we'll see. Once I beat you, I could end up fighting him.
Well, you won't be fighting him.
Justin, you said you want to drag Paddy specifically to the later rounds. Is that because you just want to test him there, or have you seen something in his performances that make you know you can have success there?
No, it's just when I find the most success. He is weird, he's awkward fighting style, and it's gonna be a little puzzle. I'm gonna have to figure it out through the first round. And similar to my other opponents, I constantly am building momentum, and this is a battle of momentum. And I'm gonna dog walk this motherfucker.
If it lasted that long.
Alluded to getting into the 4th and 5th rounds with Paddy. Is this a fight that you think you can be cautious in, or do you think you'll have to like fight wide open?
I think I need to fight smart. At the highest level, you cannot make mistakes. And if you watch all the champions, they're moving forward. I'm gonna move forward, and I'm gonna be in his chest. I'm gonna put my head in his chest. You got really long arms. It's gonna be hard to hit me when my head's in his chest.
When people started bringing up past opponents like Chandler, Justin dismissed it entirely. He didn't waste time arguing or breaking things down. His attention stayed completely focused on Paddy and fight night. The way he carried himself in that face-off was calm but deadly serious. He made it clear that all the talking becomes meaningless once they actually lock the cage door.
Justin, Paddy says he's been preparing for you like he prepared for the Michael Chandler fight. Is that a mistake? And why is this different from Chandler?
Well, you obviously seen me fight Chandler. I have, better skills, and I beat him. But I don't care what he says, what he thinks. If he thinks I'm Michael Chandler, again, it goes back to my first statement. I love everything he's saying right now.
And last one, your manager said he would like to see you fight Conor McGregor at the White House. At this stage in your career, would you take the money fight, or would you be focused on the undisputed title next?
I'm only focused on Paddy Pimblett, January 24th. How many times do I gotta say I don't expect to be alive after these fights? I go in there willing and ready to give everything, and that's the same. I'll be on the White House card no matter what. Who I'm fighting doesn't matter.
This matchup has got the combat sports world buzzing like nothing we've seen in a while. Everyone's got their takes, so let's dive into what the professionals are predicting. Starting with Israel Adesanya, he broke down Justin and emphasized that this isn't some faded version of the fighter we know. He described him as still vicious, still lethal, and still able to end fights in the blink of an eye. He highlighted Justin's leg kicks, his relentless pressure, and how he's built a reputation on breaking fighters who try to stand and trade with him too long. For Israel, that's exactly why this fight carries so much weight. Paddy's got all the momentum right now, but Justin's got experience in these precise situations where one split second can change everything.
Yeah, Gaethje's a different beast, and look, Scalzos don't get knocked out. Now you can take a shot, but again,
against the highlight,
you don't want to be a highlight. That's what I'm saying. So, in the highlight, who doesn't get tired? So, I think this is Paddy's biggest challenge yet. Perfect opponent, perfect fight for them. Old dog, new dog. And Gaethje, that was one of his last 3 fights against Poirier. Another highlight. There's another highlight against a beast in Barboza.
So the leg kicks from Gaethje too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. The stance. I didn't even think about that. This is what Gaethje used to. He still does it. The ones he did against Barboza. Leg kick for leg kick. They were both battling. But Tony Ferguson as well. The way he handled him with the leg kicks. Shit was gangster. Gaethje, I just like the style. Come forward.
Israel labeled this matchup as Paddy's most significant challenge yet, and broke down why it feels so perfectly balanced. Veteran presence against rising star momentum against legacy. He connected it to his own journey, explaining how these types of fights determine who you really become as a fighter. He said Justin needs to trust his instincts and not complicate things, but he also recognized that Paddy being favored isn't some accident. Ultimately, Israel picked Paddy not because Justin can't get it done, but because Paddy keeps finding answers to every challenge thrown at him. He mentioned how if this goes into deep waters, Paddy thrives in that chaos, and Israel said he's curious to see if that confidence holds up under real fire.
Gaethje is that guy, 37, but he's still that guy. He still the violent highlight. So yeah, but again, that kind of stuff is fuel if you choose to use it as fuel. So he seems like he is.
What should Gaethje's approach to this fight be?
Fucking beat Gaethje. Just Be Gaethje, be you, do you. You know who you are, so don't let them tell you who you are. Show them who you are. Leg kicks is good, but don't start off with leg kicks. Start off with his, Gaethje has a nice jab. He likes to stay in the mid-range, so he'll be able to jab Paddy, but Paddy as well has, if he uses his jab well, he'll be fine. I think Paddy will be on the back foot first, and if he cracks Gaethje, then he'll be the one dictating the pace. But Gaethje will be the first one dictating the pace, in my opinion, in the first few exchanges, or in the first round. Gaethje has to also be careful because Paddy hits hard. But Gaethje can eat him. Look, there's a reason Paddy's the favorite in this fight. Again, I'm just gonna follow the script today. Today I'm following the script.
What, smart money?
Yeah, just smart money. So if I say Paddy in this fight, I just think it's gonna be fire.
When he analyzes Justin's most recent performances, the grappling vulnerabilities are where his belief in Paddy really takes off. He highlights how Justin has been brought down or controlled, even by fighters who aren't particularly known for their wrestling. He describes sequences where Justin found himself in compromising positions and didn't seem to have clear solutions for advancing or getting back to his feet smoothly. He's convinced that if Paddy ever finds himself in those same scenarios, the difference becomes obvious immediately.
Fiziev fight ends up being a close decision where he builds as the fight goes on and starts breaking him in the third round. Both times that seemed to happen. But Fiziev took him down in round 1. Pure striker Fiziev. Took him down in round 1 and had him in an inverted triangle. And had him there for a while. And I think he could have done a lot more work from that position if he kind of knew the position he was in. But it seemed like once Fiziev ended up there, he just started hitting the body a few times and then thought, I don't know where to progress from this position. If Pimblett ever ends up landing on Gaethje in like one of those precarious positions, it's going to be immediate, like a latch, single, triangle, on the arm, wrench, go round to the back. It's going to be like a systematic jiu-jitsu difference that Oliveira had, but after dropping Gaethje in the first place, you know?
He also breaks down exactly how he envisions the takedown unfolding if it happens. He doesn't see Paddy shooting picture-perfect doubles from the center of the octagon. He imagines it developing during wild exchanges or against the fence, maybe after a striking sequence where Justin gets pushed backward. From that position, Paddy secures the body lock, drags him to the canvas, and everything shifts in an instant.
So I'm going to go with Pimblett by submission. I think at some point he'll end up on top of Gaethje. Will that be from a takedown? I think he could if he gets the body lock. I think he could. I don't think I see him shooting single leg or a double leg on Gaethje and getting it. But if they end up brawling and he shoots in while he bounces off the cage and gets the body lock and drags him like he did to Chandler, I could see it there. I could see it happening there. I could even see him dropping Gaethje or wobbling him on the feet. Gaethje does get wobbled and dropped. He's been wobbled and dropped. He's been flatline KO'd. So it can happen to him, you know, where he ends up in that stumbly mode. And in that stumbly mode might be where Pimblett could get a takedown for a submission or a ground and pound.
Tim Welch spent considerable time discussing Justin's knockout power and how it shows up in scrambling situations. He emphasized that when Paddy rushes forward, aggressively, his chin becomes available to be tagged, and that's precisely where Justin does his best work. Tim kept returning to Justin, stepping back, setting his feet, and unleashing devastating counters like that right cross and left hook. At the same time, Tim didn't ignore Paddy's advantages. He explained that Paddy doesn't just accept chaos, he actually feeds off chaotic exchanges. Tim pointed out that when Justin gets overly aggressive and loses his balance, that creates opportunities for takedowns, clinch work, or back takes. That becomes extremely dangerous against someone like Paddy, who's genuinely comfortable on the ground and would welcome those scrambling situations. Tim emphasized that Justin's wild style could definitely work in his favor, but it's also going to put him in real danger if he gives up position. The stare down between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje offered fans a genuine taste of what's coming. You could feel the concentration and bad intentions from both men, and it demonstrated that neither fighter is going to have an easy evening. The predictions from everyone are completely scattered. Some believe Paddy's unorthodox style and relentless pace will take control, while others think Justin's proven power and championship experience will be the deciding factor. What's guaranteed is that the intensity and talent displayed during that face-off represents just a small sample of the violence that's about to unfold inside that octagon. What's your take on this one? Who are you backing to get their hand raised? Drop your thoughts in the comments section.